Hello and welcome to another Blattman Presents. I'm doing a reaction this time to a video from 1974, and it is from a kids' TV show called Blue Peter that runs in the UK, and it's been running now for over 50 years. It's one of these how-to type programs to give you a bit of education in there, and then to show you how to make things out of a toilet roll and a bog brush or something stupid like that. Teach you how to cook, and they also throw competitions. And this one is like I say from 1974, and it's ideas for the year 2000. So this would be quite interesting considering I wasn't even born when this was broadcast. So it's warn you, it is in black and white, because even though the UK had colour from the 60s, they never tended to use it on TV for some bizarre reason until some channels did. I mean, some channels, you only had 3 channels back then. And you got the odd programme in colour, but everything was mainly in black and white because colour TV was still quite pricey. Anyway, let's have a watch and see how many of these ideas and predictions the little cherubs got right.
Hello, and today's the day when we're announcing the results for our ideas for the year 2000 competition. Well, these are just a handful of the entries we've had. In fact, we've had 135,259 altogether, and they're all different ideas. So you can imagine that Pete, Leslie, James Burke and myself have had quite a job judging them.
But between us, we have looked at every single idea. And actually, they do seem to cover every possible aspect of what life could be like.
Right, see these badges that they're all wearing? These are called Blue Peter badges. And if you were lucky enough to get anything on the show or competition, you won a Blue Peter badge that got you in free entry in, I don't know, museums, art galleries, whatever really, that you could show it, and they would give you that. Strip joints. If you had one while you're still 18 and you went to, I don't know, Hooters or somewhere like that, you got, discount. I don't know, I'm just joking. You might not, but they did. Used to give you discount and free entry into museums and places like that if you had a Blue Peter badge.
Year 2000.
Yes, they do, and it seems that quite a lot of these ideas could well come true. What do you think of them, James?
Yeah, I was very impressed by the realism behind the ideas of everybody from 5 to 15. Very, very good.
These people are probably all in the 30s as well, 20s and 30s, and a lot of people did look well old in the 70s, didn't they? But that guy there with the glasses, he's probably only 25,
Well, idea of the competition, isn't it? Well, we've got the prizes for the top prize winners here. The third prize winners will each receive one of these space age alarm clocks. The second prize winners in each age group will get one of these two-way intercom sets. And the first prize winners in each group will get one of these futuristic radios.
And there'll be lots of...
Right, I keep stopping this. Space age clocks look like suppositories that tell the time. Those two-way intercom sets, all people use them now for the front door, or they used to back in the 70s and 80s. Flats, if you had big community flats, you used to use intercoms, so I used to buzz and say, could I come in type thing. So I don't know why that'd be a fun thing to give to kids, unless we're just lazy and put one in the kitchen and the parents used to buzz and go, time for tea. And those radios, they ironically look like echoes, don't they? So that's quite bizarre, that. Interesting.
Lots of runner-up awards too. We can't announce everybody's name, obviously, but we'll be sending you the awards, and we'll also be sending out those 9 top prizes. So let's have the results of the top prize-winning ideas.
Okay, and we kick off with the 7s and unders, and we'll do them in reverse order, so I'll give you the third prize first. It comes from Andrea Westall, and there it is. A very simple idea. We didn't necessarily give prizes for complexity of design or drawing. Very good idea, simply a robbery-proof door. The door reacts to the voice of the person who is allowed to go through the door, and nobody else's.
Nice and simple. Is it
quite interesting? Robbery-proof door. It opens to the pattern of the voices of the people in the house. Right? Do we have that? I know that you can get locks that work from your smart speaker devices, don't you? So kind of, yeah. Wouldn't say it was robbery proof, because these days you can still have a solid door, and if anyone wants to rob you, they will find a way to get in, pretty much. But okay, 74, 51 years ago, and that's not a bad show, really. Let's see what's next.
Simple. Is it practical, for example, if you've got a guest that you'd like to give a key to, how would they be able to use it?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, they're working on these things called voice prints at the moment, and all you do, presumably, in the year 2000 is let your computer hear the voice of your friends, and when they arrive, simple as that.
And here's the idea for the year 2000 that wins the second prize in the under-7s. Here it is. It's a very ingenious idea indeed. A cow specially bred to give wool as well as milk.
I'm glad you said it was a cow, because it looked like a deformed sheep with 4 penises. Sorry, that's my bird. Shh. Got a hair bag of shh with your name on it. Shh. Not to preempt for shh. Yeah, wow. Okay. a mixed bred cow with a sheep? How the hell would you do that? Science. Because if you did it physically, the cow would pretty much kill the sheep, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be a good outlook for the sheep. Definitely not. But yeah, okay.
It's been thought up by Isla Fordyce, age 7, from Aberdeen. That's rather clever, actually, is that, isn't it? What would you call it?
A keep or a shall? One or the other. One or the other.
But that's not so silly, is it, James? Because you've had animals on your specials that have been
this kind of
bred for this
breeding work to get, in this case, two things out of the same animal. Very clever
Certainly
idea.
economical. Well, this design that I've got here is the one that's won the first prize in the aged 7s and unders age group. It's been thought up by Elizabeth Bryce, who's 7.5 years old. She comes from Abbottsley in Huntingdon, and it's a cloud blower. And apart from the fact that the basic idea is very good, in fact, Elizabeth has done it beautifully. She's illustrated it very well.
Actually, it tells a sort of story. Starting up at the top here, you see there's a country, it could be Ethiopia, where there's drought, and there's another country here that could be Australia last month with floods, and her cloud blower sucks in with a vacuum the clouds from the place where there's too many clouds, takes them to a place where there isn't any rain, and an ice machine converts the cloud into rain, which then falls on the drought area and makes everyone happy there. And of course the area that's mind the other way, Sheppy, as you're going to get rain on. And the other area here where the clouds have gone from, everyone is happy as well because there's no more rain. I think smashing that.
I like that particularly because it
I was going to say it. Have you noticed the helicopter looks like some sort of bong? So as the kid designed that after finding that in the dad's cupboard or somewhere, like the parents' cupboard, and well, hey, this will make a great helicopter. Oh, that's a cloud machine, isn't it? Bong, cloud machine. See where you go with that, kid.
I like that particularly because it showed an awareness of, taking from people who have plenty and giving it to people who have very little. It's a good idea there, isn't it? Yes. Well, we move on now to the next age group, which is the 8s, 9s and 10s, and the third prize, and that's a very simple idea, but an idea that I think everybody would like to have come about. It's a window, and you look through the window to see what you want to see from day to day. So if you want to live in Paris on one day, you just press a button and there's Paris, and if you want to go and paint a pagoda, you press a button and paint a pagoda.
Wow, that's really interesting because 15 years later they did Back to the Future 2, didn't they? And that was one of the items on Back to the Future. Brought down a projector screen and you could have any scenario, or any setting you wanted by just asking for it. And I suppose these days, now with LED screens and obviously projectors, you could probably do that now for real, wouldn't you? That's really... Yeah, see, Robert Zemeckis, we're on to you. Blue Peter from 1974. I see where you got the idea from.
And I forgot to tell you who it was. It's Jane Walshaw, who lives in Cheadle in Cheshire.
Nice, simple idea.
Yeah.
Well, the next prize, the second prize, in fact, in the 8s, 9s and under, is this. Now, another girl has actually won this, and it seems as though so far girls have won every prize. It's a space wallet for the year 2000, and a little bit of money dropped out there, but not to worry. And inside you've got special car keys for the year 2000 and a little bit of money down here, metal money. These are special shapes. That's 1 credit, or 1 cent, I think, and some paper money up here. Now, the good thing about this money is it's European money. It's marked EMU, European Monetary Unit, and that's 1, and that's 5 there, and there's a 10 there at the back. Instead of having half a dozen countries with half a dozen different sorts of money, you just have 1 set of money. And then next door to it, you see there's an identity card, but the bit I like down here is the lunch bills. You don't have to go out to lunch, you just open the box and take your bill, and you've had your lunch.
Wow, okay. Have the writers of The Simpsons sent this in? Because that is, I mean, there's your digital wallet, mobile phones, or sorry, cell phones. And yeah, that is your wallet's on there, really, isn't it? All your bank cards, details, everything. You know, how many people use wallets these days when you've got one of these? Beep. Even your watch will let you pay for things now. As for the European money, euro, cents, euros, EMU, very similar. That is very creepy how the kids kind of predicted that, right? Lunch pills, well, you got diet pills, haven't you, that can suppress your hunger. So in a way, you would call them lunch pills, wouldn't you? An identity card, again, you can get digital identity cards, or they have brought out in the UK, for those who don't want to drive, identity cards that you can just get online, get a digital copy, or get a physical copy as well. So that's weird. That's very, very well predicted, that one.
And then a very ingenious idea here is a letter written as though the year 2000 was here. Starts off, "Dear Dad, at school today we were the first children to try out the new teaching computer. It was a great fun because all we had to do was press a button and then wait for the lessons to come up." And then a bit later down it goes,
"Fuck off." This is mind-blowing that this was before my time. And kids are already predicting stuff like this. I mean, look what happened. We've got Zoom, you've got everything else like that, and they did do lessons online during lockdown. So, yeah, get these kids examined. They know too much already.
Later down it goes, "How is Mum getting on with the house cleaning robot?" Rather nice. And down at the bottom it says PTO. At the top, "Next time I write, it will be with my new thought writer." Well, that's rather a good idea. And that's from Caroline Howell of Dudley in Worcestershire. Very good, isn't it?
Very well thought out from beginning to end.
She's obviously thinking about living in that period of time too. You said we didn't have a boy so far. We do now. The winner of the 8, 9, 10 group, top prize, David Sutton, who's 8. Here's what he sent in, and it's a combined dishwasher and recycling unit. You have your plastic dishes made of what he suggests is some kind of plastic clay. You use them, put them in the washer washes them, and then if you want to have different kinds, suppose you've been using plates and you want cups, it simply takes this stuff and turns it back into the basic material and presses out the thing you want after that. So it's a very simple idea, and it's very neat because it's a closed cycle, so you don't have to go...
Sounds very practical, doesn't it?
No waste at all.
No waste, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Very good, though.
So that's the first prize in the 8s, 9s and
Not
10s.
bad.
And so now come to the 11s and over group, and the third prize in that group was this one. It's been won by Guy Morris, who's 13 years old and comes from Stockton-on-Tees, and he's called it a Triton submarine city. It's an underwater...
No way he's drawn that. His dad's drawn that. No way is he... Fuck off. He's not drawn that. But I'm not dissing him because he's from Stockton-on-Tees, which is my neck of the woods. Whee! So, no, well done. Well done, son. But... come on, you didn't draw that, did you? At that age, you didn't draw that. No, you did not. Daddy did it. Or Mummy. Somebody did it, but not you. Little tinker. But anyway, it's a submarine.
It's an underwater city which includes a nuclear power plant to supply energy, a solar reflector system, and solar collecting discs for extra economical power. And I think that the feet that it stands on, down on the bottom of the sea there, have probably been developed from the modern technology that's used now for deep-sea oil rigs. What do you think of that?
That's
James?
one of the things I liked about about that drawing. You know, it's done with very great care, and he's obviously taken pains to find out about what's going on at the moment. And
Yes.
did
It
use
is
that,
beautifully
you know.
drawn.
Yeah,
Lovely
lovely
graphic.
graphic.
Daddy drew it,
Now,
that's why.
the second prize in that age group goes for an idea to help elderly people and disabled people. And here it is. It's an invalid chair for the year 2000. And it's been thought out by Malcolm Fox, who's 13 years old, and Malcolm comes from Rickmansworth. Actually, we've had a lot of futuristic invalid chairs sent in, but this one particularly seems to have some extraordinary gadgets, and also Malcolm has followed through his theory with some very detailed and very clear descriptions of how it works. He says that what happens is the whole thing is run on a battery-powered engine. The engine sucks air in through these ventilation shafts and then blows it out through sort of aero-thrust tubes there. Now, the tubes are angled at the sort of degree which will drive the chair along. They help to hold the chair steady, and they can also make the chair go up and down stairs.
It's nice and
Good
practical,
idea,
you think, James?
Well, eventually, I think.
an invalid chair. You've got the word invalid on the back. I know this was the time before we started easing up on things like stamping people with names, invalid and things like that. What happens if that goes wrong? You pretty much got an ejection seat for disabled people, really, haven't you? Oh dear, no. Yeah, I don't know how they've managed to win that one, because the concept idea of that is, yeah, it's preposterous. I know you're 13 years old, but go back to the cupboard, sit in the dark, and just think about what you've done.
Nice. Practical, you think?
Well, eventually, I think. And again, another thing I like about it is, is thinking about people who maybe aren't as fortunate as the rest of us.
Yes, old people.
That leads us to the winner, the top winner in the top group, who's Stephen Bostock, who's 11 and comes from Sutton in Ashfield in Nottinghamshire. And he's dealt with the theme of communication. It's a new flat-screen television set that can be viewed from two sides at once by the two people, and you can probably see there that they're wearing earplugs so they don't disturb anybody else if they watch two different programs. And he's got a lot of inputs up here, a lot of systems whereby you can talk to either the television studio where they're putting out a program, so you could argue with us if you wanted to, or you can talk to the rest of the community. And I like that because it's an idea that brings people together. They're living somewhere. They're not just watching television like theatre.
That's pretty much a smart TV, isn't it? But not a two-way. That's weird, having a two-way smart TV. That wouldn't be possible unless you had two screens, but then it wouldn't be as thin as that, would it? I don't know, because TVs these days are very thin. But interesting. And Bluetooth earplugs as well. Seriously, these kids need looking into. They've predicted a lot very accurately at the minute, and it's scaring the poo out of me. Don't like it, especially before I was born. Bluetooth headsets in 1974. Who would have thought? And smart TVs. They were a couple of years out, but still, smart TVs. And yeah, okay.
It's a complete communication system rather than your own private one.
Yeah.
But it's a flat screen, is that?
Yes.
Is that practical?
Oh yes, they're developing it now. Very early stages, but I think by 2000 we'll certainly have it.
Wow. So even back then, 51 years ago, they were planning flat screen TVs. And it took them 50 years to get from the idea to physical appliances. Damn. Wow. So that was quite interesting then, but scary that quite a few of those kids have actually created things like that, or came up with the idea, and now we are living with those items. Yeah. Very interesting. Right. Now I've scared the bejesus out myself with these freaky psychic kids. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and if you want to subscribe to me, please do. I want to thank my sponsors, City Live Radio, broadcasting 24/7 online on smart speakers and on Freeview and Freely in the UK. If you want to go and listen to them, then go to cityliveradio.co.uk or ask your Alexa smart speaker to enable City Live Radio, and it will enable it and play it for you. Also on Roku devices as well, and on Android phones, you can download the app to them there. Right, that is it. Thank you very much. Don't forget, I've got my Patreon channel as well. And if you want to fancy buy me coffee, please do. It will be very much appreciated. And if you subscribe, I will also follow you back. Simple as that. I thought you understood all that, because I do talk a little bit quick, but it's just my accent. Right, that's it from me. Keep smiling, stay safe. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
If that smells, I will find you, and I will kill you.